Again, as mentioned, before we start posting that requirement, there must be a pre-procurement conference. There is no period, there's no timeline sa pre-procurement conference. Okay? But when it comes to the posting now, okay, the posting of our invitation to bid must be made at least 7 calendar days before the pre-bid conference. If there is already a pre-bid conference and you will see there's no posting, PSP officials, will be liable for dereliction of duty, conduct prejudicial to the interest of the service, as well as other criminal and administrative liability if they conduct pre-bid conference without posting the invitation to bid. So it's automatic that all invitation to bid must be posted in the website of PhilGEPS, in the BSP website, as well as within the conspicuous place of the BSP premises. So at least 7 calendar days. So let's example na lang. Okay? If you have a calendar January 20, we posted the ITB. So when is the pre-bid conference? So we posted it January 20 next week. So the possible pre-bid conference will be 7 days before. So possible the next Monday. Okay? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27. There are opinions saying na you don't count the day of posting. But there are also opinions that you can also already count already the date of posting. So whether it's 27 or 28, we can already have our pre-bid. So let's just assume we do it on the 28th, on the 8th day. Okay? Take note. Later on, we have several timelines that we have to follow, so you know exactly when will be the pre-bid, the post-qua, and the award. So, 7 days of posting, makikita nyo na yan, and you can already evaluate the invitation to bid. Pre-bid conference, at least 12 calendar days before the submission of bids. So, January 20, we have a January 28 pre-bid conference. So the opening of bids will be 28 days plus 12 days. That's our opening of bids. So at least 12 calendar days. Ano yung reason? Why 12 calendar days? To give you the opportunity to prepare your bidding documents. Just in case you are participating in several biddings in government and you cannot comply with the 12 calendar days, you can always ask the Bids and Awards Committee to extend it further. Okay? So you can tell the backpack, may iba pa kaming bidding, the documents that we will prepare, it's voluminous, so may we request an additional 3 days or make it 15 days. So that's possible. Okay? So during the pre-bid conference, this is your chance now to ask the back. Is the delivery period okay with you? If it says 30 calendar days, can you ask for 60? It's possible. 45 days, it's possible. It depends actually on our end user requirement. If they say 30 days lang at wala na mag-join, wala na silang choice. Siyempre, kailangan din i-extend ng 45. So, it's all up to you to ask the back for any changes in the bidding documents. The only thing that you cannot change in the bidding document is the budget, the ABC. That's fixed. Once published, you cannot change the amount of the ABC. That's fixed already. Just in case nobody can comply, then we will have a failed bidding. We have to continue with the process. Kahit wala pang mag-join, we have to continue until mag-fail bidding. You don't have to attend the pre-bid conference. If you're already an expert, you don't have to attend the pre-bid. And the back cannot tell you during the opening, wait, hindi ka nag-attend ng pre-bid ah. You cannot join, no? You don't have to attend the pre-bid conference. And in fact, You can also ask questions after the pre-bid conference, even if you did not attend. And I will show you later, you can actually ask questions after the pre-bid conference. So you are not bound to attend the pre-bid, but of course we encourage you so that when you prepare your bid documents, you are aware of what was discussed during the pre-bid conference. Take note, whatever's discussed in the pre-bid, if there are changes, it should be the subject of a bid bulletin. Just in case there were changes and there were no bid bulletins issued and you submitted a bid based on the original specifications or other requirements, the BAC cannot disqualify you. Okay? So request for clarification must be in writing and submitted at least 10 calendar days before. Going back, you take note, that's why when the invitation to bid is posted, we encourage you already to ask questions and send it at least 3 days, calendar days before. So the BAC can also prepare whether or not they are amenable to your request. Para tuloy-tuloy na tayo sa opening. But then again, you can still request for clarification at least 10 calendar days before. The reason for 10 calendar days before is that the bid bulletin that we will issue must be at least 7 calendar days before opening. The difference of 3 calendar days is to allow the BAC, the departments, to prepare the answers to your queries. So within at least 7 calendar days before the opening of bids, dapat may bid bulletin na, to allow you to prepare for the opening. Okay, so bid bulletin issued at least 7 calendar days before the opening or submission and receipt of bids. Now let's go sa submission and opening of bids. Take note again the period. When it comes to process under the law, we have to comply with certain timelines. So as much as possible, the opening of bids must be made at least within 45 calendar days from the posting of the invitation to bid. But based on the timeline that we have been discussing earlier, we were able to do it probably in 15 days. Okay? The law only allows 45 calendar days. It's possible that there are items that are very technical, ang hirap sagutin, that it takes a while for the BSP to prepare the answer to the queries. So it's possible the pre-bid or the period can be extended at least 45 calendar days before the opening. It's possible. Okay? When it comes to infra, it depends on the amount, especially pag infra, ang daming costing, may mga bid cost sheet yan. So, the law allows us to submit the bid 50 calendar days or 65 calendar days at least from the time of posting. Okay? You are all familiar when it comes to submission of bids. 2 envelopes. Technical for the first envelope, and for the second envelope, you have the financial component. I think this will be discussed later on, the specifics on the first envelope and on the second envelope, the financial component. The difference between goods and infrastructure when it comes to financial component, of course, simple lang yung goods. Sometimes it's just the one bid form in words and in figures, but when it comes to infra, there are details that you have to comply. Preliminary examination of bids, also what we call the opening of bids. When you submit your bids, the BAC is given no discretion, only present or absence. That's the reason why the law required pass and fail or presence or absence para walang discretion ng ating Bids and Awards Committee. But take note, when it comes to pass-fail, there are three classifications. You have incomplete documents, you have patently insufficient documents. When we say patently insufficient, meaning to say, pag nag-submit ka ng bid securing declaration at walang notary, ay that's insufficient. But of course, in our bid documents, alam namin, it happens all the time. But in our third envelope, actually we still allow you to submit those documents, even if it's not notarized. Okay? Kasi ayaw na nating paulit-ulit eh. Sometimes it's not, well, sometimes yung notary public na miss out niya yung signature niya. Hindi niya pala nastampa ng kanyang pangalan or notarization, yung seal niya. But in our bid documents, we will discuss later, we will allow you to submit certain documents doon na sa third envelope if you are declared the lowest calculated bidder. So, immediately after compliance with the requirements of first envelope, kompleto lahat ng documents nyo, you are considered passed and we will open the second envelope. Take note, there are 5 classifications of bidders. We have the prospective bidder. Ang prospective bidder, ito yung mag-join pa lang sa bidding. Okay? Yung second kind of bidder, we call that eligible bidder. Meaning to say, you have submitted all the documents, so you are considered an eligible bidder. The third classification of bidder, we call them the bidder with the lowest calculated bid, meaning ikaw ang pinakamababa sa lahat. And the fourth classification of bidder, we call that the lowest calculated responsive bidder, meaning to say, pati yung financial mo, pati yung offer mo is complying, so you are considered the bidder with the lowest calculated bidder. If that particular requirement is awarded to you, we call you the contractor already, no longer the bidder. So those are the 5 classifications of bidders, contractor. So bid evaluation within 7 calendar days. Sometimes, especially when it comes to infrastructure project, the BAC will not declare the lowest calculated bidder. Okay? Kasi pareho, one bid say a bidder A, infrastructure project, ang daming components sa kanyang submission, the same with B as we required. So sometimes we will have to evaluate your bid first kung sino talaga yung lowest. So once we have 7 days to evaluate your bid, and that's when the BAC will declare the lowest calculated bidder. But sometimes sa goods, automatically sa opening of bids pa lang, we can already declare the lowest calculated bidder. Bid evaluation, okay, as discussed. Now we go with the post-qual. So right after the opening of bids, if you are declared the lowest calculated bidder, your bid is now submitted to what we call the post-qualification. Take note, when your bid is subject to post-qual, take note the no contact rule. Any member of the BAC, the technical working group, the BAC secretariat, anybody from BSP, you cannot talk to them. That's the number 1 rule, no contact rule. The only exception when it comes to the no contact rule is during inspection, motion for reconsideration, okay? Those are the exceptions. Other than that, always take note when it comes to post-qua, the no contact rule. So during the post-qua, the lowest calculated bid, take note that lowest calculated bid. Kanina may sinabi akong lowest calculated responsive bid. There's a difference. When we speak of lowest calculated bid, we are only referring to your bid comparison. Kino-compare lang namin yan eh. Kung ikaw yung lowest, we call you lowest calculated. But if you are post-qua, you are all qualified, your documents are all complete, you comply with all the technical specifications, we call you the lowest calculated responsive bidder. So during the opening of bids, if you are declared the lowest calculated bid, you must submit your third envelope. So that we call it not the third envelope, other documentary requirements. Okay? So we have to submit that within 5 calendar days. It's better during the opening of bids, you already bring the third envelope. Mamaya i-discuss to ano yung yung other requirements. So, the post-qua, insofar as BSP is concerned, we will have 12 days to evaluate your offer. Sometimes, especially in cases na meron pang ginagawang mga testing, sometimes it's not possible within 25 calendar days, especially if you will submit samples. Kasi sometimes you submit samples during the opening of bids, you submit samples within 5 calendar days sometimes. So for BSP, it takes a while also to evaluate. But the general rule when it comes to post-qua, 12 calendar days. If we don't comply, si BSP hindi mag-comply sa 12 calendar days internally, we have to go up and ask permission to extend that 12-day calendar period. Otherwise, if we don't extend that 12 calendar days, baka yung bidding natin maging null and void. So you don't know this, pero the moment mag-exceed, pag nalaman nyo sobra ng 12 days meaning to say we are already doing something in BSP to extend the 12 calendar days. Otherwise, endanger yung ating procurement process. So automatic sa amin sa BSP, pag nag-breach na yung 12 calendar days, we ask for extension from our HOPE or head of the procuring entity. Malapit na. So assuming during post-qua, you comply with all the technical specs, documents complete, the bank now will declare you as the lowest or single if you are the loan participant. Take note the distinction, meron ng responsive. The responsive meaning insofar as the documentary requirements or you are already compliance, so we refer to you as the lowest calculated responsive bid. And of course, doon sa recommendation ng BAC, it will have to be approved by our head of the procuring entity. And we have delegated that already sa different region. When it comes to procurement process, usually when it comes to contract implementation, it's not covered by the procurement process. But for this morning, we will include contract implementation. But technically, when it comes to procurement process, the definition of procurement process under the IRR, it does not cover contract preparation and signing. But for this morning, we will also discuss it here. So when it comes to contract preparation, 10 calendar days from notice of award. So you will receive a notice from BSP that you have been awarded that contract. In fact, even before you are awarded, during the time that the BAC declare you as the lowest calculated responsive bidder or the single calculated responsive bidder, sometimes we send out letters na ikaw ang panalo, approve na, for approval na ni HOPE, para it gives you time to prepare yung mga performance security. So contract preparation, 10 calendar days, you have to comply with the performance security, signing of the contract, and the notarization. But most frequently, hindi kaya talaga. Okay? It takes a while for some bidders to submit the performance security beyond the 10 calendar days, beyond the 10 calendar days when it comes to signing of the contract. So again, as I mentioned, that's a violation of the IRR or the law. So internally, within BSP, ito na naman, gawa na naman kami ng memo, akyat, and ask for extension of the concurrent days. Otherwise, mano-nullify na naman yung award sa inyo. So, but we encourage you, para mabilis, you submit it within 10 calendar days. We sign already the contract. Okay? So we don't have to extend the timeline. Next, and I think this is the last, the issuance of the notice to proceed. So within 7 calendar days, pag na-approve na yan, merong notice to proceed. So yung notice to proceed na yan, based yan sa delivery period natin sa ating technical, sa ating terms of reference. So if you receive that notice to proceed and it will stay there, deliver within 30 calendar days or within 45 calendar days. Again, the consequence if you don't deliver it within that period, you will be subject to liquidated damages. Okay? So I think that's the end of my presentation. Pwede ba mag-entertain ako ng question na? May time pa. So again, take note yung timeline. When it comes to goods, kung gusto nating mabilisan, kayang-kaya ng 20 calendar days yan. Ang posting 7, opening 12, kinain nyo na yung 26. The rest, yung post ko, kaya ng 1 day. Notice of award, kaya ng 1 day. If we want it fast, we can do it within 20 calendar days actually. But the maximum, and we cannot go beyond this, it's 136 calendar days. For infra, same, kaya actually 26 calendar days. Ang matagal lang yung posting kasi 7. Then of course, yung opening of bids, 12 calendar days. But 1 day of post-qua, 1 day of notice of award, kaya yan ng 26 calendar days. But of course, the maximum for infra depends on the complexity, 141 and 156. Okay? Clear. Pag hindi clear, you can ask any question, clarification. I don't want to wait na mamayang hapon kasi baka marami kayong question. Mabuti, we discuss it now. Alright? So, question.
Any questions? Any questions?
Any question?
Any questions?
Parang hindi ko na-explain na maayos to. Sir, sige sir.
Yes, attorney, just a quick question. Earlier you mentioned if the supplier is currently participating in a bidding, tapos merong another opportunity that opened with another agency.
Correct.
So you mentioned earlier we can talk to the person in charge, the back personnel po, to extend yung deadline for the submission of the bid. Is it automatic na your request will be approved or granted even if there are other participating suppliers na qualified or subject to approval?
Actually, that's a very good question. Kasi, pag ako yung back, okay, depends sa back. If I were the back member or the chairman, I will definitely encourage the extension. But not too long. Okay, 5 days for me is good, 10 days. But, kasi the more bidder, the better. So, for me, the general rule is that I will allow the extension unless sabihin ng end user, hindi, kailangan na talaga namin yan. Kasi ubus na yung stock namin, wala na kaming gagamitin. So, we really have no choice but to proceed with the opening. But of course, most of the time, nangyayari, pag opening, disqualified lahat. Kailangan mo na. So, balik ka na naman sa process, di ba? So, the back will have to balance between granting your extension or not. It all depends on the situation, but the general rule is that, for me, we allow the extension to encourage more bidders. Okay? Especially if you have a good reason, may iba pa palang bidding, voluminous records, that's a good reason for the back to actually grant the extension. Okay?
Thank you. May we know po yung name ni Sir?
Dones.
Dones. Sir Dones, we have a small token for you.
Oh, question na.
We don't only encourage building and participation to our requirements, we also encourage learning po. So if you have questions po, any other questions po, this is your chance po to address your questions directly to our subject matter expert. Habang nandito po si Atty. Das.
Ano po?
Any other questions
tayo lang
po?
ang magsusupply, wala nang ibang bidder. Parang, hindi ba tayo exclusive tayo? Di ba?
Request.
Na mag-closer.
Kanina, binili na yung libro ko eh.
Oo.
Paano ba tayo lang?
Okay?
Promote namin yung
Pinopromote
libro ni
ko yung libro
Atty.
ko
Das.
kasi I have a book on procurement, so bilhin nyo na lang para nandun na lang
Kalaban
ang
na
discussion.
natin.
Alright? So, thank you once again for participating and
Tatapos na
hope to see you sa mga future meetings ni PSP. Especially, solid business. Solid pa partner to sa procurement namin sa counting machines. Thank you.
Ayan, since wala silang question, kami raw po may question. So may short quiz lang po tayo.